Hey guys, I know it's been a while, so just here to kind of update you what's been going on in my life. So as you may know from following Instagram, I was in Florence, South Carolina working as a traveling dietitian for about 3 months. So I just finished up there, so what I'm going to talk about today is a little bit about Florence, South Carolina, kind of my experiences there. So yeah, Florence, South Carolina, obviously it's in South Carolina. What I did there, I worked in a hospital, so I was in acute care. For the majority of my time, I worked in the oncology and med-surg floors, which was really awesome. I actually then also got to cover the ICUs for another dietitian who was on vacation for about 3 weeks. And then my last 2 weeks, I actually traveled out to one of their kind of like sister facilities where I got to work in a more rural setting, covering their hospitals and also long-term care. I did long-term care in Columbus, Ohio originally, so it was kind of a nice refresher to get back into that field. So what I really loved about the hospital experience though is it's new things every day. You're seeing new patients, you're getting to practice new like skills, just getting to be in a whole new setting. It's really awesome. I feel like in a hospital you're always practicing and expanding your knowledge. Like you might see a medication you're like not really familiar with, so you need to learn about it, things like that. You're always learning new things. So I think that was really good as a career builder for me, and also, you know, I got to meet new people, meet new nurses, meet new doctors, therapists, things like that, and also I got to interact with more dietitians. My previous job in Columbus, most long-term care dietitians are the only dietitian for their facilities, so it's really nice to be able to have other dietitians to talk to, work with, bounce ideas off of, things like that. So that was really awesome. I really loved that clinical part of my experience, for sure. So then kind of some things, just, you know, being in a new area. So I was from Ohio, so being in the South, very different for sure. Very good different though, just a lot different. The culture of the South is very different from the North. I remember one of my first like times being there, I actually had an outpatient. I covered a little bit of outpatient as well. And I was with a child, and he kept calling me ma'am. And in the North, I mean, you have people call ma'am and sir, but people are very, very polite and very strict about, you know, saying ma'am and sir and things like that. So it was almost like a culture shock for me. People are very polite. Small talk is not just a, hey, how you doing? It's a full-on conversation, which is, again, very different from the North. And the food culture. So they're not joking when they say, like, everything's fried in the South. Everything's fried. There's, like, always some fried chicken somewhere and sweet tea. So in the North, obviously I know what sweet tea is. People drink it. But it is, like, everyone drinks sweet tea almost there. It's crazy. So as a dietitian, those are two things that really stuck out to me in the nutrition world. Obviously, we don't want to be frying all our foods and drinking all our calories. That was two things that I had to learn to ask people. Was, you know, how do you cook foods and what are you drinking? Because to them it's just normal. So you have to ask about, you know, sweet tea, or maybe they drink it unsweetened, which is great. So things like that, just kind of the culture things were a lot different. But then specifically in Florence, South Carolina, some things I really loved. If you're ever in Florence, South Carolina, the gym I went to was called Extreme Fitness. It was amazing. The gym owner, wonderful. All the people there, so wonderful. The facility was very large, had all the equipment you would ever need. All kinds of free weights, squat racks, cardio equipment, 24/7 access. You got a little key card, which is perfect, because if you followed me for a long time, you know I'm an early bird, so that was really awesome. Definitely recommend Extreme Fitness if you're ever in South Carolina. Then some other things. So Florence is not a huge town, but from talking to people that live there on time, their kind of like downtown area has grown, and they have some really cool things. So a lot of times I go downtown on like Friday or Saturday, there'd be someone playing live music outside. I found a bar that I really like called The Dispensary. It was a rooftop bar. It was really just beautiful. I would go there maybe Friday evening, Saturday evening, and grab a drink and just kind of sit. It was just wonderful. And the food, so obviously I tried to go out and try some new food. I tried some local places. I, of course, tried some Carolina barbecue, which was really good. I just wanted to try new things, and that's kind of the fun thing about traveling, is you get to go out and try all kinds of stuff that you may not have wherever you grew up or wherever you're normally from. And And then I just want to share some like really special memories that I had from this time in South Carolina. So I visited Charleston twice with friends and I met friends and family there. I also kind of explored myself when I was there a few times. There was an art festival going on in Charleston. I went to the Charleston Farmers Market, walked around in the rain one day. But Charleston is just a beautiful city. There's so much to see, history, things like that. If you're ever in South Carolina, I highly recommend going to Charleston. It was wonderful. Seriously, I loved it. I went to Myrtle Beach, which Myrtle Beach itself is not, you know, the fanciest place, but I did go with one of my friends that came down from Ohio, and it was still a wonderful time. I mean, if you're from Ohio, going to the beach itself is wonderful, and just being able to, you know, be with a friend there is really cool. And then two, you know, just little memories that I think are always going to kind of stick in my heart in a special place. Aldi, I don't know if you're not familiar with Aldi, it's like a grocery store, kind of like a discount grocery store. They only have like kind of certain things, but anyway, so I was there. This was after work. I was wearing like sweatpants, a sweatshirt, no makeup, hair up, looking real rough, and I was just kind of walking around grabbing some of the things I needed, and I go up to the refrigerated section to grab milk. And there was a man there, and he looked at me and he goes, "Can you show me which one is like the low-fat milk?" So I go over and I explain. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is the whole milk, this is the 2%, this is the skim milk." And he goes, "Well, like, which one would be better for a diabetic?" And I was like, "Okay." So, you know, I talked to him about it, and I point out like where the carbs are on the label, and I was like, you know, maybe try to go with this skim milk because he was shopping for his wife, if she'll go for it. And then he asked me another question. I go, "It's kind of funny you asked me that. I'm actually a dietitian." And then he like just looks at me. He's like, "Would you mind helping me?" So we go through the store together. I help him pick out things for his wife, and he thanked me so much after. But it just felt like it was just this moment of like, what are the odds that this man asked me, who does not look like a professional the way I was dressed, about a way to help his wife who's a diabetic, and I got to explain to him, you know, where to look for carbs in the label because he didn't understand that before. And it's just a moment I think that's really always going to stick with me. And he was just so kind. And when I actually was behind him in line checking out, and he showed me, you know, he was keeping track of her blood sugars, and I don't know, I just had to call my sister after this because I was just like, it just was that one of those moments that you like kind of feel, you know, especially as a dietitian, you're not really appreciated often. You kind of feel like you actually made a little bit of a difference there. So that was something really special to me. And then another one of my favorite memories is someone that I met at the gym. He was an older man, but just some of his mannerisms really reminded me of people that I grew up with at home. He was very friendly, always asked me how my day was, which was a traveler. I mean, you don't get to have those personal connections, so it was really just nice to have someone always asking about things like that. And he brought me vegetables from his garden, which really hit really close to home because growing up, and still to this day, my parents have a large garden. They would always give me fruits and vegetables and things like that from their garden. So it was just really special to have someone that kind of reminded me of home a little bit. But overall, I really enjoyed Florence, South Carolina. I enjoyed the Carolinas, seeing a new place, meeting new people, expanding my clinical knowledge. Overall, it was amazing. I loved it. But then I went home for a week after my contract ended, visited some friends and family, and now I am currently in Hobbs, New Mexico. So I am exploring the Southwest. So stay tuned to Instagram. If you don't already, please subscribe to my channel here, and I'll try to keep some more content up for you guys. So thank you very much.